That's all right. Good to see you. And Jose, thank you for coming. Okay, we're here at a very important place in Illinois today at this very hour. We have the exhibition, the memorial exhibition of Portrait of a Soldier. It's a very special way, I think, that the people of Illinois honor those special heroes who have given their last full measure of devotion to our country. They've given their lives in Iraq and Afghanistan for our democracy. And on this weekend, we will be celebrating the anniversary of our country, the special day that the United States of America began in Philadelphia in 1776 with the Declaration of Independence. We told the whole world that we were and always will be a democracy, a government of the people and by the people and for the people. It shall not perish from this earth. And all through the history of our country, we've had heroic men and women answer the call to duty to defend our democracy, to defend our right to vote, to speak, to pass petitions, to assemble, to follow our freedom of worship, all the freedoms that we understand are the heart and soul of a democracy. But on this 4th of July weekend, there are many soldiers of Illinois who can't be with us for picnics or barbecues or ball games or parades. They're on duty, far away from home. They don't have a day off. And it's very important that we not forget them. We need to support our soldiers, support our troops. We have a website in Illinois, operationhomefront.org, that provides specific, concrete ways that all of us on the home front can help our soldiers on the front line. And I think it's a very good way to really honor the independence of our country, honor our democracy, to find a way to help our soldiers. And Operation Support Our Troops is a very good way to do that. I think it's important also that we not forget those soldiers who did not come home. And it's these portraits here that I think is extremely powerful way of reminding us that every day we should pause and thank God that we have in our state and every state great heroic men and women who volunteer to go in the face of danger to very difficult and dangerous places to make sure our democracy is safe. The Portrait of a Soldier is done by a young man named Cameron Schilling. He works for me. He began in Mattoon, Illinois, his hometown, some years ago when a soldier in his town, Charles Neely, was killed in Iraq. Cameron hand drew a portrait of Charles Neely and gave it to his family. The family was so touched by this portrait that Cameron wanted to do this for all of our Gold Star families in Illinois. Gold Star families are families that have lost a son or daughter defending our democracy. And Cameron has done this now for many years, and these are the results of his good work. If you look into the portraits and look into the eyes of the service members, you see their soul. These portraits will last long after we're on earth. And I think it is an important reminder to all those who come after us that there were great, great men and women in Illinois at the dawn of the 21st century. After 9/11, September 11th of 2001, a horrific day that we will never forget, these young soldiers answered the call to duty and went far away from home and did not come home. And we cannot forget their lives. It's our duty to remember them every way we can. And today I do want to ask the families that have joined us to come forward and say the name of their loved one, perhaps their rank in the military, a little bit about them. I think it's important that God in his heaven hear the names of our heroes of Illinois. They're all American heroes. They have given, as Abraham Lincoln said at Gettysburg in 1863, they've given their last full measure of devotion to the cause of government of the people. So as we begin this weekend, this holiday weekend, that everyone will celebrate the independence of our country, we should pause and reflect of who made it possible. So I'm going to ask Bill and Debbie Wolfe to start us out, and we'll ask each of the Gold Star families to say something about their loved one. It's important we never forget. And Bill and Debbie, would you start?
Thank you.
Hello.
Our son was Marine Corporal Anthony Mihalo. I would not say he had more courage and loyalty than those people standing up here who've also served, but it was a tremendous courage. When he went to Afghanistan, he had 2 tours in Iraq. I remember an email he sent after a firefight, and the last words were, "And Hank died." His people, his unit called him Shrek because he had 3 things that the character Shrek had. One was a smile that could light up a tent. The second one was a coolness under fire. And the last was size, because he was 6'5" with a wide wingspan. And he'd go into it and they would feel comfortable because he was there. We're very proud of him and we'll miss him every day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, Anthony lived up to the embodiment of the motto of the Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis, Semper Fi for short, always faithful. We thank him for his purposeful life. We also have with us the father of a Army Staff Sergeant from our city of Chicago. Jose Vasquez is here, and on behalf of Jason Vasquez, please come forward, Jose. Thank you for coming.
Good afternoon. My son, Jason Vasquez, died on September 17, 2008 in Afghanistan, a roadside bombing. Jason was dedicated to the city that he loved, the state that he loved, and the country that he loved. He wanted to serve his country for the freedom that we have nowadays, the freedom to express ourselves. Also, Jason wanted to be a Chicago policeman, but before then, he was the Cook County Sheriff, and his goal in life was to be in law enforcement, to make this a better city and a better country. God bless him, and God bless America.
I think it's important to note that Jason worked for the Cook County Sheriff in the boot camp program there, and we dedicated at his middle school where he attended, Logandale Middle School, the high school, or the gym, where he spent many a day. And the slogan of the school is, I think, a slogan that Jason followed throughout his entire life, which is expect the best. And we do expect the best, and we know we have the best. And on that very subject, we have also Sandra Miller, who is the mother of Army Private DeWayne White, Country Club Hills. Sandra, with your family, please come forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My son, Private 2, DeWayne L. White, was killed in Iraq on December 4th, 2007. And I feel that he is my hero. He is my hero, as well as all the other soldiers who have passed on, and all the soldiers that have gone over to Iraq and Afghanistan. And a note that my baby boy, Sergeant Deshaun White, left to go to Iraq to serve his 3rd tour in the Army for our freedom. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Sandra. I think we want to thank Sandra's sons, both DeWayne and her Staff Sergeant's son, for their service. I went to the funeral, and the prophet Isaiah was invoked at the funeral. He talked about oaks of righteousness in the Old Testament, and each and every one of our service members that have gathered here, as well as those who have gone forward and given their lives, are oaks of righteousness. They understand the importance of service to others. We also have with us the parents of Army Corporal Albert Bitton, that's Elie and Sylvia Bitton, and we'd like to have them come forward and speak about Albert, if you would. It's okay. Maybe I'll say a word about Albert, if I could. Yes. Yes. If you maybe introduce the little boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
This little boy is he represents, my son.
And what's his name?
Albert Bitton.
His name is Albert. Very good.
Yeah.
And he was born
July 14, 2009.
just last year.
My son was born July 13.
Wow.
1 day apart of this one. It's a blessing of God.
Amen.
It's really a blessing of God.
Amen. Well, I remember the day that of Albert's funeral, because that was the day my father
Your father.
was the day before his funeral. So
Yes.
we really thank your family, all the families of the Gold Star families of our state and our country, and I appreciate everything that you've done for our country. It's very important that we not forget, especially on this weekend.
And I appreciate, for coming to our funeral.
I did. I wanted to
God
be there.
bless you.
Thank
God
you.
bless this country.
Thank you. Amen. God bless America and God bless our country. Thank you. I want to thank with us today the Deputy Commander of the 404th Chemical Brigade, Colonel Purple. Colonel, you want to say a word, Sure. Okay, please do. Okay.
Thank you, Governor Quinn. Gold Star families. It's an honor for the soldiers, myself, to be here among the portraits of our fallen. I've seen these portraits many times, and it always takes me back, because I know many of them, some of my soldiers. And we appreciate the honoring of our fallen on here. As this is the weekend of the July 4th, we in the military want to tell the American people, please celebrate. It's our birthday. And we do what we do for you, for your freedoms, for our way of life, and what we have here in Illinois. So happy birthday, America, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel. Thank you for your service. Thank you. We want to thank each and every member of the 404th Chemical Brigade that's with us today, and also the members of the 108th Sustainment Brigade. All of you, do us proud. It's very, very meaningful, I think, to all of us on the home front that we have such heroic men and women who can handle any assignment. And I would urge all the employers of Illinois, when our service members come home, they're ready to work. And we got to make sure we have good jobs for them. They fought for us in places like Baghdad and Afghanistan. They shouldn't have to fight for a job back home. We have to work together to make sure we have good employment for our veterans, and good health care, and good education. Now, the portrait of a soldier, this memorial exhibition will be here not only today, but also next week. I would encourage anyone in Illinois, if you're in the area of downtown Chicago, this has been everywhere in our state. We've been to very small towns and medium-sized towns, suburbs, all over Illinois, and I'm going to keep doing it as long as I'm governor, because I think it's very important, whether you're at a library or community college or the Thompson building, the seat of government here of state government in Chicago, to look in the eyes and learn a little bit about these service members. When you see their eyes, you see how special they are, and how each and every one of our service members, our fallen soldiers, had a servant's heart, and they understand the importance of service, and we can all learn from their lives. And God did not give them a long life chronologically in many cases, but he gave them a purposeful life. And I have seen firsthand how special they are, and we always have to keep them in our hearts, and that's why we encourage people, even for a moment, to stop, look at this. It'll transform your life and make it better. So thank you for everyone coming today. I want to thank our Gold Star families, especially, and all our service members. This is a weekend, as Colonel Purple said, to celebrate our freedom, celebrate America, and also be grateful to all of those over the history of America who have served and defended our democracy. Thank you very much. Okay.